The results are in, and they're good. Looks like it's going to be Joe Musashi and Metal Sonic nipping at my heels at all times, I suspect. And do I get a level up? Yay! You can find out what happens when you get a level up. I unlocked the mod. It's an interesting idea, because you can take the stuff you don't really like and turn it into stuff you do like. So as some of them I do tend to sort of go, okay, you've got a lot of speed, but this balance mod gives me more acceleration, which allows you to sort of, rather than going, oh, I can never be this character because I just can't seem to use him, you can adjust them and therefore use them. And I don't know, I like that. But I suppose it's because I get so bored, so very bored so very easily. Yes! I don't think this sort of speed boost off the front line isn't quite as simplistic as the old Mario Kart one. Not saying it's explicitly simple in Mario Kart, but I think it is easier in Mario Kart because it's a distinct time thing. Once you get that timing, that's the timing. Whereas with this one, you seem to get a certain amount of variation between the different races. And you may think this one perhaps is almost Rainbow Road-esque, but it really isn't compared to the later one that's even more so, I think. There is a sort of... There does seem to be a trend. Any kart racer has to now feature a bullshit, I'm going to swear and rip my hair out at the annoyance factor of the track at the end, I think. And this one, I think, does have one, but I can't explicitly remember it. Oh well. Twister! I'm going to take you twisting, Tails! I think Twister does two things. It turns the car around and inverts the controls, which any time your controls are not what you think your controls are makes for an awkward fucking occasion. Oh, very nearly gave snowballs to Joe Musashi, which would not have been convenient. Oh, that was close-ish. Now that I've got a glove, if anything comes in from the behind me, I can in fact try and catch it, which is what it's a catcher's mitt, I suppose, technically speaking, isn't it? I'm sure baseball fans would know that. I'm going to use it just so that I can try and collect something else. God. Oh, I blocked! Yes! Yes, I didn't really fully explain. The catcher's mitt is twofold. It's much like easy origami. Twofold. It not only blocks an attack, but if you have an empty slot, it will steal that attack. Bam! Transform boost. We finally get to see the spy. And I think, by sheer accidental fluke, I apparently managed to, not avoid the snowball, but not avoid the meteorite either. Fuck my life. Bloody Metal Sonic is making my life a living fucking hell. Let's put the blowfish in the middle of the boost, because anybody else who wants the boost will have to go through the blowfish. And bam! Fire off the blowfish whilst transforming, whilst super jumping, whilst getting a transform boost! Wow, I'm good! And some people said I didn't know how to play, but I showed them, because I know exactly what I'm doing. So where do we go now? Is it back? No, it's back down. I think, because it's quite nice that it does... Oh, All-Star! Fuck that for a game of soldiers, we're definitely doing that! As I say, the All-Star tends to transform you into the plane mode, whichever your plane mode is. You get your fancy theme music, which is quite nice, and you get a certain amount of sort of... You get kind of free attacks, I suppose, because you can fire off things in front of you. But I don't know, it's still just turning into the plane mode. I don't know. It doesn't. Oops, careful. It's not quite as good as I think it used to be. It used to be far more unique, I think. In Sonic and Sega All-Stars, it was so uniquely done that each one felt so much more worth it. Whoops. I was trying to fire the snowballs out the rear, which was the vastly more useful tactic. But stunt failed, you fucking twit. Oh, no, no, no! Metal Sonic, get your fucking ass back! Now, he's got glove, which is... Yes! Come on, come on! No, too late. Ah, second place. What a pain. Blasted metal fucking Sonic. I wish he'd rust in a hole, bitch. At least because it was Joe Musashi who came second last time, I still have a little tiny lead, which is what is very much desirable, really. Very much desirable. Let's go next race, the Seasonal Shrines. This one, I think, is... I want to say this is Joe Musashi's level-based thing. Shinobi! That is the game he was from! Obviously, everybody else knew that. Everybody else probably said that out loud when I couldn't remember his game. But yes, Shinobi. Of course it is. And yes, Joe Musashi is from there. Marvellous. As I say, each races has a sort of alternate way of doing that boost at the beginning. And what's quite nice is you can test it out. So you push the button, and if it just sort of smokes you, if it smokes, you can do it again, and that's I don't know, that's makes it easier, I suppose, but also arguably I think makes it slightly better. Now I had to learn a load of shortcuts on this track because I was against. You had to do it against Joe Musashi. And it was a bitch to try and do. And yes, the leaves, for some reason, leaves slow your car down. They are apparently glue leaves. But yeah, hopefully, if I can remember all the if I can remember my cock, I might be able to show off the or not. Bastards. I was gonna say I might be able to show off the secondary effect of the hot rod because it's not quite what you might think in it's just a boost, because it's not just a boost. What it is if you do it well enough, you can ditch it, and if you don't do it well enough, it explodes on you. But if you do it well enough, you can explode it at the right time and wipe out the competition around you. But obviously it's sort of one of those risk factors. Let's just fire the swarm out. Oh, the swarm naturally goes out in front of me. I always thought the swarm naturally went out behind you. Oh well, never mind. I'm not going to lose any sleep about it going in front of me because it stood a better chance of hitting Metal Sonic, who is proving a definitive pain in my fucking posterior. Stunt failed. That's not convenient. I think Metal Sonic is taking all the shortcuts that I kind of want to try and remember. Ba-bam, ba-bam. That one, I think, is quite a good idea, but I might be mistaken. Do. Yeah, he is doing all the same trickery that I'm trying to do, except he has just gotten himself smacked by a doobery. Sit down, you mad fool. Don't get up in the middle of a race. How the hell was I steering with him stood in the middle of the place? Now, let's fire off the... Whoa! Blocked! Cock blocked, motherfucker! Oh, man! You gotta be dizzy now, bitch! Gots to be dizzy. Ice, baby! Vanilla ice, baby! I probably missed every single one of them. I didn't really... Should have looked at the mini-map and waited my turn, but screw it. I was satisfied just ditching them all out at the same time. Ba-bam! Sometimes it's best not to try and do a transform boost, because sometimes the transforms are just not... shit. They are not shit. Fire off a missile and... Oh! Yeah! No, yeah, game. I evaded the swarm intentionally. I knew somehow... great jump, but apparently the stunt failed. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it, game? It looks like Joe Musashi is trying to chase me down on his own level. Suck ice, Musashi! Sounds like maybe it should be a dish rather than anything else. You have fun, Musashi. And My fine Musashi blocked! Triple barrage of ice was enough to block you! Ba-bam! Now, this bit, I've done in the past, usually very, very well. So, hopefully, unless... I got a feeling doing it the other way, the way Joe Musashi is doing it, is in fact shorter. But, arguably, I'm worse at doing it that way than I am doing it at the longer way. So, some shortcuts are distinctly swings and roundabouts territory, aren't they? Because they cut through the children's play park. No, because if you're shit at taking the shortcut, it's not a shortcut anymore, is it? And you just have to accept that sometimes, I think. Oh well. So that's 2 firsts and a second. I'm doing very well towards my degree, as you can surmise from that. No. 2 firsts and a second puts me a few points in the lead, and we are now approaching my favourite track of all time. Hopefully we can mirror the very beginner. Oh, Twister Shield. That's a bit of a meh. That's a bit of a meh reward, because A, you can dodge the Twister, and B, you can... It's one of those ones where if you're quite good, not that I'm saying I am, but if you're quite good, the Twister is meaningless because you can just counteract it by turning your brain backwards, which is subtly easier than you might think when you have no skull. Just the only unfortunate thing with turning your brain backwards is everything goes backwards. Speech, everything. Just a quick note, don't actually reverse that, because that was nonsense. So let's see. Obviously, yes, we can see the mighty ship, the mighty airship battle station thing, whatever the hell you want to call it. It was a mighty battle, that one, and you've got some general sort of piratey ships. I think they are fairly generic. They're just generic sky ships. Through the hole, and then I can't see any more specific ships. The one with the blue flags is, I think, the blue rogue ship the father has at the beginning. But I suppose I'll tell you, there's all sorts of other ships they're missing as well. The old crazy chameleon. I think it was it called the Chameleon, or was it something else? I don't know. I've got a feeling it was called the Chameleon, which was a ship that kept. I suppose I know. I want the entire game in a single level. That's not going to happen, is it? No. But still, owing to the fact that they have got some like generic ships, I can't help but think they could have included some of the more specific ones. Because they've got Belize, as I say, I think her name was Beliza. Or that might have been her slight different name, but it was something along those lines. But you'd think they would have the Chameleon in there, because that was a key enemy throughout most of the game. Let's see. Obviously we've seen the fact that they have the Delphinus. I can't remember if it did have an I in the end. I don't think it did now. Thinking about it, I think it may have just been Delphinus. And I've been saying Delphinius. Hence the joke earlier on Delphur. But, nevertheless, as you can see, they're smoking, and then I finally get it right, and I can hold it down. But I suppose the trick to it is to acknowledge and know when the red light comes on, because or whatever light it happens to be. Because if you let it go, you can't get it back again. So if you go, right, that's not the right one, that's not the right one, that is that. I let go. That means you can't ever have it again. I got a long shot. That's pretty sweet. Ow! That was too quick for the eye to spot. Oh, there's a secret up there. I did not know you could go up and over the thing. Boost! Fire! I'd love to not try and race this, because I would love to see if I can find secret bits that I recognise from the original game, but I can't help it. I desire victory more than I desire to see the secret bits. I don't think there's an inspection mode, which is almost a shame, because if there was an inspection mode, I would love to just explore this map all day long. I think I could. Seriously, that is how much I love Skies of Arcadia. It's my ultimate video game. I have, for those of you who have been on my channel for an extended period of time, will know that Skies of Arcadia is my all-time favourite game, and I don't think I will ever change that. There will never be an occasion, I don't think anyway, that a game will come close to matching the true incredible might of Skies of Arcadia, because it was just that was not what I wanted to have happen. It's the second lap. I might be able to come back from that, but the unfortunate truth is, once I fuck up, you always fuck it up, and or once I fuck up, you're fucked. Rather, that's what I meant. That's unfortunate. Oh, here we go. It's the cannon off the battleship that destroys this area. If you didn't spot it first time, I was trying to define what actually destroyed that. I wondered. Oh man, this has gone horribly wrong now. Oh well, in for a penny and all that jazz. Are you in for a penny in the jazz club? Nice. Oh yeah, did you see the skippity doos? Blowfish, fire it off in front because there's more enemies in front of me. Don't know if I hit that. Oh, you know you don't hit there. But I did think the destruction may have been caused by the Moonstone Cannon. I was secretly hoping for the destruction to be caused by the Moonstone Cannon, but I don't think it is. I think the destruction is the giant cannon on the bottom of the great almighty Valuan base. As we round the corner, I think, yeah, you can see it charging up, and then devastation. I think you have to do something extra special to dodge that in the final ship-to-ship battle, or ship-to-battle station battle, I suppose. Oh wow, I'm in first place. I genuinely didn't know that. I was not paying sufficient attention. I've just lost first place. That sucks. I've just gained first place. This is going to be a tightly contested situation. Those mines, I think, are explosive, obviously. First place as Team Fortress on Rogue's Landing. Simply the best racetrack of all time, better than all the rest. Results are 3 firsts and a second, and that second was only because blasted Metal Sonic bullshitted me. So I'm quite pleased with that result. I came first, obviously. That's always a pleasing result. And I think one tournament and a special opening race and a victory ceremony, which I wasn't necessarily expecting, but still. And as you see, yeah, Gum's got her blades on too. Poor Mimi. I almost feel bad, but then I realised she looks like she's got a pair of buttocks on her face as a nose, but I feel less bad now. As I said, I told you Metal Sonic and Joe Musashi were going to be the thorns in my side, but I removed those thorns and threw them away, for victory was mine. Spectacular. New GP unlocked. Oh, marvellous. New GP unlocked. Graffiti City, Dream Valley, Chili Castle, Sanctuary, my sanctuary. I don't know what that song is. My sanctuary. I got a feeling it's something to do with Kingdom Hearts. I always wondered if that would be fun. Square Enix. Allstars Racing. it would either be really good or really shit. But I don't think there's a middle ground with that sort of idea. It would either be so good because you'd have Final Fantasy characters racing around in cars. I'm leaning towards so shit suddenly, but no, I reckon it could work. It could be fun, and you know, you could have the Kingdom Key car. I reckon that'd be fun. That'd work quite nicely. But anyway, I'm not a member of the Square Enix company, so I can't ask them to do that. Unless some random member of the Square Enix company comes along, watches this one video, watches it all the way to the very end, and goes, I like that idea. Oh, you think, alright, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take it to Square Enix and say it was mine. You bastard. You grizzly bastard. They'll know it wasn't yours, sir. No, they won't. Anyway. Rambling utter nonsense aside, I will say, and now for something completely different!